welcome to Programming by Practicing, where my aim is to take you from a novice to an expert in a single day. So let's get started. What do you mean by programming? What do you mean by a programming language? If you're one of those guys who are already familiar with some other programming language, then this video might not be helpful to you. You can just skip over and go to the next one on the list. However, if you are a complete beginner and have no idea what a programming language is, well, let me try to answer some of the most commonly asked questions. Okay, so what is programming? Well, let's go to Google and try their search engine. Programming definition. So what does Google tell us programming is? The action or process of writing computer programs. Well, duh, we already know that. The action or process of scheduling something, especially radio or television programs. Well, who cares about that? I mean, that's not even related to computer science anyway. Let's try searching for computer program and let's hope that we'll have better luck with this search. Aha! So, a computer program is a collection of instructions for performing a specific task that is designed to solve a specific class of problems. Well, that seems more helpful, but it's a lot of computer jargon thrown in there. So, what does that mean? Well, it means if you want to tell someone to go and perform some duties, what do? You give him some instructions, right? If you want him to go and get a coffee for you, you tell him, okay, go to the coffee shop, ask for such and such coffee, pay the money, get the coffee, come back and give it to me. Similarly, you can tell a computer to perform some operations. For example, let's say you go to a particular folder, or let me go to a folder, see Ruby scripts. I have a list of files. Now I want to search for a file starting with the name basic. So if I type it in here, then Windows is going to search it and display the file which matched with the input which I gave, which is basic, as the search query, and it returned a file called basics.rb. Simple, right? So what's happening? You are giving an input. Windows has some programs with a list of instructions that tells it that if a user is giving an input, it should search through the list of files available in this directory and output a result which matches the query, and it did that. Now let me try to explain. So that's a computer program. Now let me try to open up a simple notepad. I like using Sublime and a command prompt with Ruby installed it. I've already uploaded a video which tells you how to install Ruby and how to set it up. I'll have a link for that in the description. Let me go into the exact same folder we searched now, cd Ruby scripts, and now I want to create a file. So first thing first, always save your file, because you never know when the computer is going to crash, and you don't want to be one of those guys who coded like hundreds of lines and his program just crashed and went away. Okay, so let me start by defining a file first, and RB is the extension we give for Ruby files. It's just so that Sublime can highlight the syntaxes or the instructions according to the language's template. Okay, so let me try to simulate what we just witnessed with the directory search. So I want to ask the user for his search string. So I would say put as give me a search string. Okay, and then I'm gonna define a variable input. We'll go over all these syntaxes and semantics in another lesson, but just follow with me here. So I'm gonna use getAs to get the data, and then I will put chomp to remove the final new line character. Don't worry, I'll explain all this later. Let me put dar.globe, which is the search function used to search for files within a directory. Don't worry, we'll learn about all this later. And then I give dar hashtag input in order to get the input from the user and use it in the search param. Let me add this here. Okay, that's it. Now let's try to execute this. Ruby. So in order to execute a script, you use the command ruby and then the file name, which is first.rb. Ruby printed the string give me a search string and it's waiting for our input. I will give time And Ruby actually searched the directory and found the exact same result. Now Windows will have other programs running in the background which would translate this simple program which we created into a wonderful UI with the file icon and then the highlighting here and then the listing here. It has a whole set of windowing utilities, but let's not worry about that. Essentially, this is what happens in the background. So we are giving instructions to the computer which tells it, okay, take an input from the user, search the current directory for any file matching the input and print it. Easy, right? That's programming, and this is a computer program. Well, I hope you understood what programming is and how computer engineers create programs. Anybody can do coding, anybody can become an expert, and I hope I'll be able to make an expert out of you within a single day. Don't stop here. Move on to the next video. Keep flowing through all the videos in Ruby playlist on or any other language. I really do believe that you guys will become an expert even if you have no idea of computer programming or anything related to Ruby within a single day. All right? See you guys in the next video.